Yo, what is up everybody? Next to Bros Ultimate back at it again with another video, and today, as you can see by the title of the video, I am going to do a review on Jackass Forever. Of course, the day after, because I record these the day afterwards, after I see the movie. Um, and let me tell you guys, it was sorry, it was fucking funny. Um, I mean, kind of a spoiler warning ahead. I mean, how do I say this? Jackass to me is like one of these movies where like you don't want to spoil what happens, of course, because then people get pissy at you. But at the same time, it's like you want to talk about it because it's so fucking funny. So for Spider-Man No Way Home, I did a spoiler-free review and then just a spoiler review. But that's only like for big movies like that, like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I'm going to do the same thing. But yeah, I mean, just for other movies like Jackass Forever, for example, I'm just gonna do this like it's just a one-off. Or if there's a Marvel movie that I thought was pretty big, like look at Eternals. If I had this idea down for whenever the Eternals came out, I would have just done a regular movie review on the Eternals and not do like a spoiler-free review and then a spoiler review. Once again, I'm probably gonna do that with Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness. Anyways, we aren't here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Jackass Forever. So my thoughts on Jackass Forever. So Jackass Forever was such a fucking funny movie. It started out with like I forgot who it was, but just from start to finish, like not even 5 fucking minutes into the movie, we already see we already see everyone freaking the fuck out over like this Godzilla type thing. But instead, I forgot who the fuck it was, but it was like someone's dick, but like it was with like a Godzilla thing on it. I called him Dickzilla. Honestly, I was just waiting for, because knowing Jackass, I'm like, I'm just waiting for someone to shout that, and if they don't, I'll be fully upset. So I'm saying right now that was Dickzilla and not Godzilla. You can call it Peniszilla if you want, but I'm calling it Dickzilla because why the fuck not? Um, so yeah, so Dickzilla comes rolling in. I thought I'd never say that in a fucking sentence. Anyways, which I'll get to that later on in this video about things that you thought you'd never hear in a sentence. But then he comes rolling in, and then everyone's just freaking the fuck out because some dude's getting shot when he isn't even the monster, and then the Dickzilla comes just walking, and then Johnny Knoxville shout to him, by the way, for being a fucking legend. He's like, never mind, over there, that way, that's the thing you need to shoot. So then they finally shot him, but he was still alive. And then just cum comes out everywhere. Thought I'd never say that in a sentence, but yeah. Like, Via says he's gonna come. He hasn't came for a while. But instead, Dickzilla came. If you know what I'm talking about, if you're a wrestling fan and you know what I'm talking about, by Via hasn't come yet. Long story short, there's this thing called Monday Night Raw, and there's this guy named Via who's on Main Event, which is like it's a WWE brand, but it's the show no one really watches anymore because I honestly thought it died in 2016. So he's on Main Event, and on Monday Night Raw every week they keep video packaging the fact that he was gonna come and he hasn't came yet. Anyways, so that's all for that. So back to Jackass Forever. That opening scene, my mom and I, Jesus Christ, like she saw that, and at that point she was like, I don't know if I should have brought my kid here or not. But now, granted, she thought, nah, it's fine, it's whatever. I've seen Deadpool and Fast Times at Ridgewood High, so it's not like I've seen sexual body parts before or talked about it in school at all. Yeah, that's my life for you. Anyway, um, so yeah, I mean the horror movies as well. I guess. I mean, you look at that and how many body parts are showing, like how many boobs they show in that. Anyway, um, where was I? Oh, yeah, the first 5 minutes. So my mom and I are fucking dying. I mean, we came out of that movie theater. My mind was so fucked up coming home. Like, I mean, it was fucked up. Like, I had no clue what the fuck I was doing for a while. Because I'm just there and I'm like, oh my god, all my brain cells are dead. Like, that's legitimately what it felt like. Because at some point, Johnny. Oh, that's a piece of fuzz in my mouth. I just started talking and then a piece of fuzz just flew right into my mouth. Ugh. Yeah. Speaking of throw up, I'll get to that later. Good thing I have my Coca-Cola beside me. Okay. Okay. Malfunction's over. Anyways, no, this video is not sponsored by Coca-Cola. Anyway, so I'm sorry I forget a good majority of these guys' names. I remember the ones like Wee Man and Steve-O and Johnny Knoxville. That's it. Anyway, I know you'll be like, well, why did you see Jackass for not remember the names? I'm bad with names, okay? I'm just fucking awful with names. Like, the two things that give me the most is names and birthdays. Anyway, like, it's either A, I forget someone's name, or B, I should know someone's name, but I know a good majority of people with the same name, so I completely forget who they are, or I would have no idea what that person is talking about, because I'd be thinking one person in my mind, but I'm like, wait a minute, they don't know this person, but they know that version of that person. Okay. Anyway, so I forgot who it was, but John Knoxville and them dumped 5 pounds of pig cum. Yes, you heard me right. 5 pounds of pig cum. So they dumped 5 pounds of pig cum on the dude. My mom and I were just dying laughing, and then because they were like Johnny Knoxville and them, they were in the other room. The guys out front doing an interview of like his favorite stunt that he did for Jackass before either it'd be past or present or whatever. So after the 5 pounds of pig cum came on, I'm super fucking struggling right now for multiple reasons. One, to me, it's almost 8:30 in the fucking morning. For another one of those reasons is the fact that I'm like, oh, I'm semi-tired, but I'm not semi-tired, and it's just mainly because of the fact of, can I say this on YouTube? Now, granted, I don't give a shit what I say on YouTube, but there are times where I'm like, should I be saying this on YouTube, or should I not be saying this on YouTube? Anyways, so after the pig cum was dumped, like, all of them in the back just come walking out. Johnny Knoxville looks at the guy, he's like, pig cum. He's like, wait, what was that you said dumped on me? He's like, Johnny Knoxville's like, pig cum. He's like, pig cum. Yeah, pig cum. The guy stops me because he's like, because he's wiping out pig cum out of his eyes, so he's doing that. He's like, dude, I'm vegan. They must have been like 4 people in the back. My mom and I, that makes 6, about 8 of us in the theater. There's not many people to see this movie, but like everyone fucking died laughing. These 2 girls kept walking in and out. I don't know if they just weren't discussed. They didn't like the movie, or they just didn't want to be there, but they were just kind of. Anyway, so sorry, Coca-Cola went down the wrong pipe. Anyway, so they just went. Like, it's nuts. It was just super fucking funny. I mean, great from beginning to end. My mom and I, after we came out of that movie theater, we were like, yeah, so we need to own it on DVD. Like, once that thing comes on DVD, we're probably gonna be owning it. Like, that's a for sure thing. But other than that, Jesus Christ, the ball. I will probably be flip-flopping stuff from, like, what happened and, like, later on in the movie to, like, what happened earlier on in the movie, because that's just stuff coming to my head. But the ball, I can't remember that came before the pick coming or afterwards. No, afterwards, because that was, like, one of the final things. Anyways, so the ball came on. John Knoxville put the milk inside the hat, and what he was supposed to do was put the hat with the milk inside on top of his head, and then the milk comes down. But that didn't happen. The bull comes running after him. John Knoxville's running. The bull, boom, knocks Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville flips over and, like, lands on his, like, neck area. And my mom and I, we were just like, oh my god, like, is he dead? He wasn't, because he was at the Royal Rumble, and he entered the Royal Rumble match. So, and I'm a big fan of wrestling, once again, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, but I'm like, he's fine, he's not gonna die, he entered the Royal Rumble, but still, shit. Like, when he says that he's gonna do the craziest shit, he's not lying. He is not lying at all. Like, you think that's just his act. No, that's his real life self. So, pretty much like everything they do is real, because they don't plan for that shit. They do not. So the bull comes over. Everyone in the movie thinks he died. And all of his friends thinks that he died. But he's okay. They put him on a stretcher, and he puts 2 thumbs up. He's like, I'm still good. Like, I can do another one. Anyway. So, but speaking of which, Jesus Christ, Steve-O and Johnny Knoxville. So they were, like, doing a parade thing, like a miniature parade, and they had to walk sideways on like walking machine. I don't remember what it's called, but one of those things where, like, walk on it. So they walked sideways on, like, not forward, but they walked sideways. And of course, it was going backwards, of course, but so they walked on, they went zoom, and that happened like 5 or 6 times with different people. Johnny Knoxville, I think, got his head busted over, and Steve-O, good old Steve-O, broke his fucking arm. So Steve-O broke his arm. He ended up in the hospital. Still has that. Yeah, like right here. I want to say this is the tooth. Like, one of these teeth right here. It's a fake tooth. Probably lost a tooth, so he had to, like, pull it out and be like, yeah, I still have it, and then he put it back in his mouth. But nobody broke his arm. But he looked fine afterwards. Like, he still enjoyed that shit. And by the looks of it, it looked like it was. There are times it looked like it was recorded after incidents happened to, like, before, maybe, or they just added everything into, like, one, like, pre-recorded a lot of this stuff, maybe. Like, I want to say it's been recorded since, like, early 2020, because it's been 2 years now since COVID hit. Well, we were coming up on the 2-year mark of COVID hitting. So I want to say it was recorded in, like, 2020, but it might have supposed to come out last year, but it ended up not. So I might be wrong about this, please correct me if I'm wrong, but whenever I went to go see Shang-Chi, I saw the trailer for it, and I'm like, I need to go see this now, because it's been, like, since 2016, 2017-ish, since I've seen the movie. I mean, I want to say something, I've seen Jackass, the movie, or whatever. So, because my mom always was saying there, and some of the stuff that happened, she went, yep, that's the kind of stuff that I watched when I was your age. Because she came out of the movie theater, she's like, that is more dicks on a screen than I wanted to see. And I thought she was going to throw up, because at the end of it, they I want to say some sort of merry-go-round, but it was like the puka twister or whatever it was called. I forget what it was called, but it was kind of like merry-go-round, but you strap the people in. But like while it's speeding up, like they had machines to make it go faster, but they had to like chug milk right beforehand. No, it was the Vomit-O-Matic? Vomit something. That's what it was. So they had to see like who didn't like vomit or whatever. So they had to like go around, and then it was like bleh, like they threw up because of chugging all the milk, and the one guy he couldn't even get it done. He's like halfway down. Bleh. It was fucking funny. I thought my mom was gonna throw up in that seat right there and then because she can't handle puke. She never did because if she saw me vomit when I was a kid, she would. So it pretty much was my grandmother that was like, yeah, let me go take care of this. Because even till like this day, my mom's like, yeah, like if I ever throw up, she looks at me, she's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. She's like, are you puking up in a bucket? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, and then she goes back to bed. Because for one thing, I'm mature enough now where I can take care of myself. I'm fucking 16. Like, I could take care of myself. Even though I say that, and I saw Jackass. Yeah, that's what this video is supposed to be about. My brain just kind of went woohoo. Anyway, so um, yeah. So, sorry, super tired. So that happened, but whenever that went on, there was like an airplane came along, shots down fire, boom, 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 explosions, explosions in the background. It wasn't the end of the movie. I mean, it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't. Um, because it was more or less the final scene, I should say. But then by that point, people came in with shotguns that like were dressed up kind of like the military and like started to shoot the people that was in the vomit vomit around. I think that's what it's called. I don't know, but they started to shoot the people with the paintballs, and they were getting hurt off of that because they didn't have any protection. So they went okay. Um, they had like welts on them. Oh, that reminds me. One guy, get what his name is, super fucking funny. I should have done some research. I don't want to say research, but I should have looked up their names first because I kind of forgot. But if you know who this is, he's the guy with like the mohawk type hair. If you've seen Jackass or Jackass Forever, and that was your first time and you remember his name, or you've seen Jackass before but have not seen Jackass Forever yet, for one thing, what are you doing on this movie, on this video? But for another thing, it's not really a spoiler. I wouldn't say I'm spoiling it for everyone. I'm just giving my opinions on it and how and what I felt like, and I just want to talk about it. And like I can share details about it, but I can't say like yeah, like I enjoyed Spider-Man No Way Home because of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire coming back with the whole multiverse outbreak thing in the end. No, um, like I just can't go around saying that to people. So for this movie, it can be like yeah, so at some point, some dude had like 5 pounds of pig cum drop on him, and he was said that he was a vegan at the end, which made it better. And this one dude with the mohawk, like what I'm about to talk about, they had some sort of heavyweight boxer coming, professional boxer, mind you, because they did the cup test. Holy fuck, they went three, mind you, they went out for like 3 times for the cup test, and Jesus Christ, I thought his ball sack was gonna get ripped off, which it kind of did. I'll get to that later on, like number 3. So, so he was told that it was a light heavyweight, but I think his name was Sean. I forget. I'm just gonna call him Sean just in case. So, John Knoxville told Sean that he was a light heavyweight. Um, so, but he wasn't light heavyweight. He was like a heavyweight boxer. So then he came along and he had, I think, the hardest hit ever inside of the UFC or the MMA. I forget. If you know who it is and you know who I'm talking about, please let me know down in the comment section below. Greatly appreciate it. But But he came in, boom, punched him right in his nuts, like just right in the neck. He just goes boom, and the dude's face, like he went from "ow that hurts" to "I'm dead, y'all." He's just like, "I'm fucking dead." It looked like I thought it sucked up in there because after that punch with the indent of what the cup had, it was an actual indent in there, of which then he just wasn't okay afterwards. I'll just say that much. He was not okay afterwards. So there was that. I'm sorry for yawning, guys. I went to bed semi-late, but I woke up at like 6 o'clock-ish this morning. Anyway, so, and I'm making this video, so I'm actively awake, but I'm actively not awake. So yeah, so that was the first one. He was hooting like hell. He didn't want to do it anymore. And then came a professional softball player, which I forget what her name was. But she threw the ball at him. He moved, and it hit him like on his leg somewhere because he moved. But then she did it again. She hit him like right, because once again, the cup's on the penis, so you have to hit there. So, but she missed, and she hit him on the leg, and he has this giant ass bruise because of it. And I say it was a giant ass bruise when it was a giant ass bruise. Like, it was fucking huge. So it was like this big. I want to say it was like maybe a bit bigger because it was a softball. Like, I don't know. I want to say it was about this big. I don't know. Whatever the size of a softball is, like about this big, like this big, kind of. Like, I don't know. Anyways, it was pretty decent size, but rough to look at. And then she finally hit him in the nuts, and then he fell backwards. He's like, "Oh my god, like I can't do this." Which, speaking about getting hit in the nuts, I have another story to share. I have another thing to say about this right afterwards. Which happened earlier on in the movie. Jesus Christ, I'm kind of going backwards, but kind of going forwards because I have another thing that I want to talk about anyway. So then he went on to test cup number 3. It's pogo cup or whatever it was with the pogo stick, and the dude had like bounce on his nuts on like the cup. So he went bounce, boom. He missed. I mean, he hit the cup, but he missed. The dude's ball sack was bleeding. I shit you not. He busted his ball sack open and blood came out. And the one cameraman started to throw up his mask, and he's like, "Dude," he's like, "I need a new mask." So that was fun. So yeah, but Wii Man. Oh no, Wii Man. I forgot about Wii Man. So Wii Man. Wii Man. So what happened next after that whole incident was that Wee Man was supposed to pick up some dude, huge, like big guy, and Wee Man was supposed to do like that thing from like Dirty Dancing where like the dude picked up the girl and like raised him up, but he was supposed to do it with like a big, like 3 times his size. So Johnny Knox was like, "Can you pick up him?" And Wee Man's like, "Let me try." And then he grabbed him, and then the guy farted. He's like, "I just shit myself." He's like, "I just shit my pants." And Johnny Knoxville was like, "No." He's like, "Yep." And you could tell Johnny Knoxville was trying to hold off a laugh, but he was like, "This is important." But at the same time, he was like, "This is kind of funny at the same time," because we're all like laughing as well. So then he took his silver suit off, and then you could see it because he was wearing white underwear as well, so that didn't mix well. So, because you could see the stain, and it was fucking funny. Like, you could see the stain of it, and oh god, I'm will be surprised if I don't get like banned, like put into YouTube jail after a while. I mean, after this video, I should say. Jesus Christ, the shit I watch. Anyways, and no, it's not the stuff that my mother will let me see, because I know someone down in the comments will be like, "Well, if your mother didn't let you see that," if anyone's gonna watch this video, actually, but maybe. Anyway, So like, well, it's your mother's fault because she let you go see that. It wasn't her fault. It it was not her fault. It's called I Wanted to Go See It. And I told her about it. I'm like, Mom, we need to go see this movie. So it was my fault. Yeah. Besides, I've watched The Shining by myself, and I've watched Child's Play by myself, and we all know how those movies are, especially The Shining with that whole room door scene. Anyways, don't know what I'm talking about. There's a naked woman. Jack made out with her, and then she turned into like this weird creature thing. Because I'll I'll probably do a movie review on The Shining at some point in the future because I do want to talk about it. I do want to make a YouTube video, but I watched that like, let's see, it was one of the first times that my mom. It was the first time that my mom had to go work on a Saturday, so I'm gonna say it was like last year at some point. I'll say it was like last year at some point that I saw Shining because it was like the day afterwards. Because on the Friday we went to yeah, I want to say no. Was it 2019 or was it 2020? I forget. I completely forget. But it was one of the first times that my mom had to work on a Saturday, which once again I think it was 2019. Anyways, so I saw it like about a year ago, let's just say. Um, because it was like 2019 to 2020, so by the time that I've seen that, it was about like a year ago. It would be 2-3 years. Anyway, um, so yeah, but that whole naked woman scene, yeah, I'll talk about it. So that movie review is coming up soon. Um, but I keep losing track because I'm like, dude, this is Jackass I'm talking about. Anyways, so Jackass. Um, Afterwards, they had like a flip flop machine thing, right? Where it was if if they get, and this was like early on in the movie. This was like the first 10-15 minutes in, maybe, possibly. Although the time felt like went by pretty fast. I don't know how long the movie was, but it pretty much went by pretty fast. So, um, so it was like if they got a question wrong, it was like the machine went back, and then there was a flip flop tattoo where like it hit him right in the nuts. So, one guy got it wrong the first time because it was math and whatnot. So boom, which I also got the question wrong because I'm good at math. I will say this though, I'm good at math. It's just called I'm a bad listener. And my brain will do whatever the fuck my brain will say whenever someone asks me a question and I don't think about it. Or if someone asks me to do something, I'll just go, oh, okay, and then either A, I forget about it, or B, I just won't do it because I just didn't pay attention to what the fuck they said. So, anyways, I got the question wrong. I think it was like the 6 plates, and yeah, it was 6 plates and 4 cookies because it was like Jerry had that, but then Sally had 1 plate of 12 cookies. Who had the most cookies? Whatever. So that was the thing. Dude got it wrong. He got slapped in the nuts with a fucking flip flop, but it went like past his nuts, but like it hit him, but it went backwards, and then he was aching in pain, and then it was like the dude in the middle once again with the mohawk. I think his name was like Sean or something. I'll look it up, or someone will comment down below. Let me know what his name is, but yeah, I also got a haircut on Monday. Anyway, so he got a question right, so he didn't get whacked in the nuts, and then and then came the guy's turn again. But Sean got hit in the nuts with a flip flop, but the dude then got hit in the nuts because Johnny Knoxville whenever the one guy got it wrong, Johnny Knoxville accidentally hit the wrong button. He hit like Sean in the nuts by mistake. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then he smacked. Like I said, I don't remember the dude's name is Sean or not, but I'll look it up afterwards. But he smacked the right button, all that fun jazz, the whole flip flop and the nuts thing. So, yeah. Um, and then Wee Man got his wrong, and then he got hit in the nuts, and then he fell down because Wee Man, short man. Wee Man looked a lot like Hornswoggle. Anyways, so yeah, and then that all happened. So then afterwards, while they were talking about that, which I forgot some of the other questions, but they asked different questions on that. And then later on, with Wee Man, there was this trip, like a double, triple bungee jump thing, like a triple bungee jump thing, and it was like the two big guys jumped off while Wee Man went up, and he got like a super wedgie, which I mean all of them did, but Wee Man, he like got up there because he was like off the ground because of how small he was, but then he got a wedgie off of it, and it was fucking funny. Like, we died through the whole movie. Like, I died laughing. I came out of there, I'm like, shit. I'm like, I don't think I'll be able to stand this any longer. I mean, I was able to stand this, but I meant vocal cold wise. Because I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to breathe or laugh after that movie, but I was somehow managed to. Um, yeah, what else was there? Oh, the bear. So Sean, the dude with the mohawk. He took a lie detector test, and Johnny Knoxville asked him, he's like, so, what's your name? And then he says his name. And then, which it was okay. I went and then Johnny Knoxville was like, are you allergic to bees? Because every time he lied, like, he also put a shock collar on him, because he was like tied, because I don't want to say he was like tied to a chair, but he was like, yeah, he was onto a chair, he was strapped into a chair, I should say, with the shock collar around him, and every time they lied, John Knoxville, like, saw they lied, he, like, hit the buzzer, and then he shocked him, and then he did that with Sean. He's like, no, dude, he's like, I'm actually allergic to bees. He went, again. So, because he's freaking out, he's like, dude, he's like, I'm allergic to bees, and then John Knoxville put honey on him. If you know what I mean from the trailers, you know exactly what's coming. So Johnny Knoxville put honey on him, and then afterwards he put salmon on him. He just dumped salmon on him, like, in front of his dick or whatever, and like just on like a strap, like in a little belt thing. And then they left the room, and then after they did that, a bear came out, and then the guy's like he was just in shock. He was just like, oh my god, like, that's bear. And then the bear comes walking over towards him. He was a cute bear. I honestly want to hug him. My mom and I were both like, he's so adorable. We want to boop his snoot. Like, we want to go boop on the nose. Like, he was a cute bear. I mean, normally people say, you're fucking insane. You want to go hug a bear? I do want to go hug a bear. That was a cute bear. That was an adorable bear. Anyways, so that bear was super cute, but okay. That happened. So then, anyway, so then the bear came, and it was like, all that fun jazz. And then the bear started to lick, I don't want to say he started to lick, like, the honey off of him, but he was starting to eat the salmon, and then the bear, like, took his paw, and, like, he put the strap there, it was like, like, eating the salmon off of him. Because he was also trying to lick the honey, but then by that point, the bear was trying to eat his dick as well. And that's when the expo came in, because he was fucking scared shitless. Like, he was not acting. Like, the best part about it is that whoever weren't doing the stunts, if someone was afraid that they were going to die, everyone fucking laughed. And everyone laughed in the audience. So, which I think I have, like, 1-2 more things to say before I get off for this video about the movie, but, and I'll give my initial thoughts on it at the end. Yeah, 2 things to say about the movie afterwards. So then, after that, the people came in, had the bear, they took the bear away, and then they unstrapped the guy that was trapped inside the chair, and then that was all done. Next up, they had to do something along the lines like a snake or rattlesnake, whatever. Um, so actually no, that's all I have 3 things to say. So they had like some sort of snake, but they had him inside of a tin. But they turned the, but they right before they brought the guys in, they put the snake inside of like back inside the thing, but they switched the bins out with each other. So whenever they knocked the one bin over, like it would come out sounding like a snake, but it wasn't a snake. Um. So yeah, that was fun because it was dark because they shut the door and they shut off the lights, but some people had night vision goggles, and of course they were the people performing the pranks on the other people or the stunts or whatever. So yeah, and the guy came in, and there was another room where they found, and then they slipped on something because they hit a frying pan, and then they slipped and they fell, and that was fucking funny. Because they were like, hey, I found a door, and they were like, no, you didn't. And they're like, yes, I did, it's fine. Boom, hit on a frying pan, fall down on, like, thumbtacks, what the fuck ever. So then this one dude, I forgot what his name is, but Zach, his name was Zach, because it was Jackass, so Zach. Okay, now since that's another one I remember, Zach, he was one of the big boys. Zach was like, okay, there's a table there, and of course, there were mouse traps on the table. So, and if you've ever got clipped by a mouse trap, you know that thing hurts. I've never got clipped by a mouse trap, but I know enough that those things hurt. So Zach climbed onto the table with like all the mouse traps because he got pinched by one, but he didn't think much of it. So he went on the table again and went pinch, clap, like all over him. And then the table kind of broke, but then he fell off in the other direction. And he was starting to hurt, but it was just fucking funny from beginning to end. And then my final thing I'll say about this movie is that there's a lot that I want to say, but this will be it. This will be the final thing before I go. And that was the 3 challenge mime thing. The first one, it was called The Quiet Game. And then actually that's all I have. One more thing to say after this. One more thing to say about the movie, and that's nothing big. So, the one lady, she like put her tongue out, but just with the fuck is the thing? Police officer's taser. I was like, what the fuck's the thing that police officer uses? Yeah, no, a taser. There was a taser, and Johnny Knoxville like pushed it in, would like keep tasing or whatever. But then she licked it, longer licked it, But then she couldn't say anything because if she said something, it lost. So she went again, and then that shocked her tongue again, and then she did it one last time, and then it shocked her. So then she did it was fine. And then Sean, the dude with Mohawk I mentioned before, his task was to kiss a snake. It was like viper or whatever. Because he was asked if Sean Knoxville asked him if he was sure about it. He was like, because he couldn't say like, yeah, I'm sure, nah. It was like, yeah. So, because he asked the dude who had the snake if it was venomous or not. And he was like, kind of is, kind of isn't. So then, because he had to kiss the snake, and like the snake was like, like if you know how snakes get mad, if you don't like snakes from them getting mad, or you don't like snakes but you've seen videos of them get you just if you know how snakes get mad, you know that whenever they go, it's not a good thing. So he went, and then the snake latched onto him. It was like latched onto his like a tongue and zip, and he went. So there's that, but at the same time there was other things as well with that, and then like the snake kind of like kissed him, but then he latched onto him, and he like had a busted nose on one side. It was okay, so I'm mirroring it. So for me, it'd be on this side, but since I have my camera on reverse, for you guys, it'd be this side where he was busted open from. So if I'm looking at you right now, like, what I'm putting right now, like, he was kind of busted open on this side, but but once again, my shirt's backwards on here, so if you know, then it'd be this side. So just touch yourself and point to this direction. But like I'm pointing now. Although for you it'd be here, I guess, if you're watching this, which I'm looking at myself right now, so since I'm watching it, just point yourself to like this side of my nose. But I don't know, it's confusing. But for me it'd be this side, but for you guys it'd be this side. So he was busted open, and the snake bit him again, and then that was it, that was done. And then Steve went, and it was the skateboard guillotine. The skateboard guillotine on Jesus Christ, that's right, Machine Gun Kelly was in here. That's the final thing that I would say. That's the final thing I would say, only because that made my fucking... That was probably one of the best parts of the movie. So, I hate Machine Gun Kelly. Anyway, so they started... So then Steve-O went with skateboard guillotine, he put his legs out, because then John Knoxville raised the skateboard high enough, and then he put it under. John Knoxville dropped it down. He dropped it on his legs, and Steve went, ah! And then he put his hand over his mouth. He's like, I forgot that I couldn't talk or make any sound. Because he was like, John Knoxville was like, if you make any sound at all, you're out. So Steve screamed, like, afterwards. He's like, I forgot I couldn't scream or talk or do anything or make any sounds. So John Knoxville was like, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, you have winners, and then you have a Steve-O, and then he hugged him, and then Mom and I had like, Steve-O, because Steve-O was the man. Anyways, poor Steve-O. Poor Steve-O. Anyway, sorry, bug on me. Anyways, that's like a little file, whatever. Anyway, so yeah. So the final thing I'll say about the Machine Gun Kelly, and then I'll give my overall review of it. It was like you had to pedal faster because John Knoxville when we said something. Of course, it was like the opposite because that's Jackass for you. So it was like Steve-O and Machine Gun Kelly were going out. I'm like, come on, Steve-O, I'm like, pedal faster, get Machine Gun Kelly off of there. So Machine Gun Kelly is like pedaling faster, of course, but their bicycles are connected to the hand in front of them, because like if you pedal faster, the hand will go back enough, it will hit your other guy. But of course, your bicycles were in front of that hand because that's Johnny Knoxville for you. He'll just say one thing and then it's the complete other. So yeah. So Machine Gun Kelly was pedaling faster. The hand went back. Boom. Hits Machine Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly goes flying into the water right behind him, and that was funny. Like, I lost my shit. Like, I'm not a fan of Machine Gun Kelly, but I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's Machine Gun Kelly. And then he got hit into the water. I'm dying laughing. I'm like, yep. Like, that was funny. Like, that made my movie. Okay, that's the final thing I'll review about the movie. Again, I would love to say more about it. It's just I can't, because if I were to sit here, like, how do I say this? If you gave me a chance, like, I actually saw Spider-Man No Way Home again. In fact, this past Wednesday, so literally last week today, I saw Spider-Man No Way Home again in theaters, and I loved it again. It's my all-time favorite movie. And there was definitely some details I missed that I loved. But yesterday, once again, I saw Jackass Forever. So, but with Spider-Man No Way Home, after watching it a second time again, I would literally talk about it for like an hour or two if you gave me the chance. But with me doing the review of this and then giving my personal thoughts about Jackass, then this movie is gonna be like near to an hour. Because I'm looking at my clock, it's like 44 minutes, and I'm like, fuck, this is the longest video I've made. But hey, look, if you're making movie reviews, they're gonna be long sometimes, they aren't gonna be long sometimes, it just depends on the movie and depends on how much you like it. Anyway, once again, I'll be doing a movie review on The Shining, if you haven't seen that yet. Make sure to check it out before you see my review on it, but if you don't plan on seeing it, just watch my review on it. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so my final thoughts on Jackass. It's a great movie, super funny. I strongly want to give it a 10 out of 10. Like everything about it from beginning to end, it was special. And once the credits started rolling, it wasn't like credits, but it was like actually like old clips versus new clips of them. It was like the old clips on one side of the screen. It was like, okay, so the way I'm looking at me now, which is the way that you'll be looking on, it was like, so on this side it was like the older stuff, but on this side it was like the newest stunts that they did in the movie, and like they showed some older clips of them doing stunts, and then new clips of them doing the stuff from the movie that wasn't in the movie itself. But I mean, it was in the movie because it was in the credits, but it was just extra stuff that they didn't have time to put into the movie before the credits. So that was nice. Um, so it was just funny from beginning to end, from Dickzilla to them getting paintball shot and the explosions and puking on the vomito round or whatever. It was just, everything about it was great. If you haven't seen Jackass Forever, go check it out, because you, once again, actually no, I haven't said this before. So when I say you'll laugh your jackass off, you'll laugh your jackass off. Anyways, so yeah, that's my initial thoughts, my honest opinion on it. 10 out of 10, great movie, probably movie of the year. Now, granted, this is just the first movie that I've seen that I released in 2022. Now, there could be other things like Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. I think will strongly be movie of the year. But also you don't know because the Batman's coming out, and I'm not hyped for that, honestly. But yeah. So yeah, that's my review on Jackass. Right now it's movie of the year, even though it won it by technicality because it's the first movie that I've seen that released in 2022. So yeah. So anyways, I'll make sure to like the video, comment down below, let me know who your favorite star Jackass is and who's that Got the Mohawk's name. Also, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications for every time I upload a video. And whenever you do subscribe and you do click on notifications and click all because of the YouTube algorithm or whatnot, then make sure to just tune in and watch out for my Shining review, because I will be doing a review for The Shining. Also, updates on a bunch of other stuff. I will be going to Pennsylvania this week, so I won't be. I'll literally be going this Friday, and then Saturday will be, and then Saturday that will just be an entire day there, and then whatever's going on, and then my mom and I will be coming back on Sunday, so we'll be spending pretty much like one day up there, in PA. So then we're coming back. So on Monday there's that, but yeah. So I will actually, now again, I have time to plan things out, to plan YouTube videos out, but at the same time, if you really look at my stuff, I kind of don't. So I have loads of plans. Probably going to try and upload, after I get done with my trip, I'm going to try and upload around once a day, or at least record 2 videos in the same day so I can get up on like a Sunday, because that's when I work at the comic shop. So, or I try to record like 2 videos and post one on Friday. I might do one on Friday. I'm featuring Dom_Rocks. I don't know, maybe. But other than that, great movie. If you haven't already, make sure to go check out Jackass Forever. Make sure to watch out for upcoming movie reviews and WWE prediction videos and theory videos, because I do have some more Marvel theories I want to give out to you guys. So yeah, thank you for watching, and thank you. Peace.